30 years ago when I was pregnant. Unfortunately, I've lost a tooth during every pregnancy, and I've got 5 kids. And I was probably about 23 at the time when I lost my first tooth, which is quite soul destroying. Continued to have children and continued to lose teeth. So by the time I was 30, I had 5 missing teeth. I did take my teeth for granted. I think everybody does. Before you can speak, you've got teeth in your mouth and you expect them to be with you for life. They're just there, aren't they? I spent a lot of time wishing I'd looked after my teeth.
You called me and you said, Ella, I've found a dentist.
I have.
I did. She'd done all this research online.
I was probably researching for the best part of 18 months. Doing my reviews, I was doing Trustpilot. I have had a couple of past experiences where I've gone online and found a dentist and gone to them and I left feeling heartbroken. I don't know what it was about Truly. Now, as soon as I see a camera, I'm jumping in front of it.
That is the truth. I think
that is the truth. Everybody has said to me so much just recently. I seem to be photobombing everybody's photos because that wasn't a thing for me. When people used to take photos, I'd just go tight-lipped, but I didn't really think how much of a difference it was going to make. I never actually used to smile in photos if I had to be in them, but I would avoid at all costs being in photos. I'd happily volunteer to be the cameraman because that was the easiest option and the easiest way out.
Okay, Mum, so take us back to the very beginning. When did your dental problems start and what was happening in your life at the time?
My dental problems started probably about 30 years ago when I was pregnant with your eldest sister. Unfortunately for me, I've lost a tooth during every pregnancy.
And you've got 5 kids.
And I've got 5 kids.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I was probably about 23 at the time when I lost my first tooth, which is quite soul destroying. Continued to have children and continued to lose teeth.
How did you start to lose them? Was it gradual?
Yeah, it was a gradual process. Obviously, the first 5 I lost was during pregnancy, like I say, and obviously you know, my eldest is 30, Kate's 23, so yeah. Over sort of 7 years I lost 5 teeth, so by the time I was 30, I had 5 missing teeth, which isn't nice, obviously.
No, of course not, no. Before treatment, what did a normal day look like for you when it came to eating, speaking and smiling?
Eating and speaking I could do, but obviously there wasn't a smile.
I think quite rightly, you've probably not been in any family photos or anything.
Yeah, I mean, I'd challenge you to find a family photo with a picture of me, you know, with me in the picture, because that wasn't a thing. And I didn't even realise that that wasn't a thing.
Yeah, and what about eating? Because I know towards before getting the treatment, you had a lot of gap at the back.
My main problem was I had missing teeth at the bottom at the back,
yeah.
Both sides. Obviously I've got my wisdom teeth, but there was a big gap in between, so, you know, eating was not the easiest. It wasn't the easiest thing to do, and I think that put a lot of pressure on my teeth that I did have.
What were you avoiding in terms of photos, dating, work meetings, certain foods, certain conversations? Were there things that you felt like you were avoiding when your teeth were at their worst?
Photos, definitely. I would avoid being in a photo at all costs. Cameraman, yeah, great, but not in the photos.
Okay, how did your teeth affect your confidence over time? So did it change the way you saw yourself?
Most definitely. I think the number one problem with me, with my confidence, was my teeth, and I didn't actually realise that until I got my new teeth. Like, the transformation and the way it's made me feel is beyond anything. Yeah, it's been absolutely incredible.
And at your lowest point before treatment, how are you feeling about the future of your teeth?
I would say I was depressed about it because I had been to a couple of different places to explore what my options was with regards to getting better smile. I kind of went into it feeling excited, but then left feeling worse than I'd felt before I went, because the outcome or the answers that they'd given me wasn't what I wanted to hear.
So that changed obviously when you came to Truly?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
A completely different experience, different experience.
I think I remember
From the second that I walked in the door at Truly, I just felt relaxed and at home, and just a completely different experience to what I'd experienced before.
Yeah, I'll touch on, I remember you coming home, I think, from the dentist. You just looked deflated.
Yeah.
And that should be an experience that you're going into feeling excited about and looking forward to. But I think, like you say, every time you came back from a different dentist, they would just make you feel even worse in a way.
It was so deflating. It was so heartbreaking, to be honest with you, because like you say, I went there feeling excited, feeling like maybe, you know, I was going to be able to get my confidence back and get my smile, but I left there feeling downbeat. And
then I remember coming to Truly with you and we were skipping out of there, weren't we?
Yeah, we was.
Skipping out, everyone's so nice, the place looks nice. I think being her daughter, all you want for your mum is for her to be happy. And at the time, we could all see she wasn't, but it wasn't something that was spoken about. You know what I mean? Like, you're the type of person to sort of, we all knew that her teeth was an insecurity and that it was something that she felt really bad about. But for us as her kids, like, to even have this opportunity to give that to her now has been incredible, just to see, like you say, how much it's actually uplifted you, how much more confident you are, happy you are. It's just so nice to be seeing her smile. Whereas some days you could have been happy, but because you never smile, it's just like, it's just plain, plain on emotion in terms of the smiling side of things. So yeah, I just think for me, it was more around just knowing that she wasn't her confident, happy self. Mum's quite keep stuff in, keep cards close to her chest. She's always been that soldier for us, like never see her down or ever emotional. But I think probably about a year ago, I'd say, was when I really started to see, I think you started to voice it a little bit more, but you forget, like, you've held that in for 30 years of the whole like process of losing the teeth. And I think it just got to a point where about a year ago, that's when she was really struggling with it. And it wasn't just,
I feel like that was as well because I'd previously had a crown at the front of my mouth. I lost the crown, and then I got the awful news from the dentist that they couldn't actually replace the crown or fix the crown, and that I then had to have a plate. And that was at the age of, just 50. That was not nice.
That was a struggle for her, because imagine just having something constantly wedged, and if it was even with eating and stuff, you was having to remove it at night time. I remember it affected your sleep a little bit, having to have it in. So you were taking it out, and I think, that happened, what was that, about a year ago, just over a year ago?
That was probably about 2 years ago.
2 years ago. Yeah, so I think that for me was probably the stage at where I saw things start to really affect you. Yeah. Because without having that plate, you then just...
I wouldn't have had a tooth sort of, second to the front, That was quite deflating at a young... I don't consider myself to be old. I think my kids keep me young, but to have a plate... And when you take the plate out, you've got like a tooth missing at the front as well as the ones down the back. That was soul destroying. Avoided going out, avoided being in photos. Got 7 grandchildren as well now.
What made you decide that now was the moment to finally do something about it?
I don't think I'd specifically decided now was the moment. I wanted to do it a long time ago, but it just wasn't an option. It wasn't my priority. My priority has always been the children, the grandchildren. I've had to just struggle through.
I think you're a very selfless person, is that the word? Like, you care about everyone else, but you wouldn't really necessarily think about doing something for yourself.
No, obviously, that's probably, obviously you children are adults now, but you're still my priority. I did look into getting it done, and there was options that I wouldn't have gone for, and it's something that happens a lot now. Growing up from being a young mum, it wasn't really an option, it wasn't really on the cards, whereas I feel like with social media and everything now, it's more something that you see a lot of people do, and it's more spoke about and sort of everything else.
So would you say that probably affected your decision making at the time as well? Like you say, it wasn't really out there. Was it something that you think was frowned upon to do something like this?
I think because of my age, I think having missing teeth as a person, it's frowned upon anyway, coming from my generation. Yeah. Whereas I think now it's, you see young people going and getting their teeth done. And
why did you choose Truly Dental for this treatment? Because I remember the call, you called me.
I did.
And you said, Ella, I've found a dentist.
I have.
And she'd done all this research online, and you were going to all different dentists, weren't you?
I'll be honest, I was probably researching for the best part of 18 months. Yeah. And I wasn't just researching the dental practice, I was researching patients, I was doing my reviews, I was doing Trustpilot, I was doing everything.
And Truly came up, was it on Instagram that Truly?
Yeah.
Right, yeah, I remember the call, and you were absolutely buzzing, but again, I think from past experiences, you were apprehensive.
I just want to say that I have had a couple of past experiences where I've gone online and found a dentist and gone to them, and it wasn't what it was made up to be, and I left feeling heartbroken. I don't know what it was about Truly. I just looked at the reviews, I looked at the work, I looked at, and I kind of got excited about it.
Yeah. And then we came here, and that experience for you, I think, as well.
That first initial experience, I'd already made my mind up. Yeah. That was enough for me. For how welcome I was made and how I was made to feel, that just straight away, I had a bit of a skip in my step.
We did skip out of it,
we did.
I'm not going to lie. We were buzzing. What was the treatment like itself compared to what you expected?
I've researched the horror stories with regards to teeth. Because I think you have to. You have to do everything.
Know what you're going into.
In my personal experience, I think I've got a very good pain threshold anyway.
Yeah.
But not as horrific as I thought it was ever going to be.
Yeah. On the day, I think as well, the process was very much like teeth out. We waited a little while.
Yeah.
Temporaries were made. It was very smooth.
Yeah.
Process.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you. I mean, she probably don't remember the day because you were sedated, and you still to this day are like, I kind of remember, but
there's nothing bad to remember, so I just think about the day and still smile.
No, I agree.
I think the only time I ever had nerves was obviously coming for that initial consultation, and that was because of previous experience. So even sitting downstairs in reception, and just even the receptionists and the staff, and that was from that point the nerves went, and there wasn't any nerves.
It was just more excitement.
Yeah.
And how was the recovery in the first few days?
Mild pain, I would say. You know, and it was sort of within 4 days, it was all over and done with.
Yeah.
You know, I still managed to eat, I still managed to drink, cleaned my new teeth.
there were a little bit of bruising on the chin.
I think there was a tiniest little bit of bruising here.
You wouldn't have known that you actually had the treatment that you had, I think.
No. I expected it to be a lot more horrific than what it actually was, yeah.
Yeah.
In between having my teeth out and waiting for my temporaries, we actually did go for a walk to get a bit of fresh air. And we went round to the local supermarket, and I'd seen something online, because I'm quite partial to cheesecake, and there was a specific flavour cheesecake.
It was a squashy one.
Squashy, the sweets one. So, but we went round there and got that, didn't we?
Yeah.
And I did actually manage to eat that.
So it was what was it? First few days you were soft, or was it first week?
I'll probably say the first 2 weeks it was soft, but it wasn't completely soft. You know, it was soups, scrambled egg, you know, cheesecake. Yeah, as long as it wasn't any discomfort for me to eat. Although they told me to keep to a soft diet, it was sort of what I thought that my teeth and jaws could manage, rather than me having to be specifically on soft food. I mean, obviously I wasn't going to start eating steak, which I have done since now, obviously.
What has genuinely changed in your life since getting your new teeth?
Confidence, the number one thing. That's not confidence just through having teeth, that's just confidence in myself. Confidence in myself to want to look better, be better. It's confidence in my mindset, really, just in general.
It's mad that teeth can do that.
Yeah, because it wasn't a case of I wanted new teeth because I had teeth missing, but I didn't actually realise how much I needed new teeth. I needed them.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I truly did.
What's something you now do without thinking that you avoided before?
I don't have to think about whether someone's got a camera. I don't have to think about whether I'm going to smile or laugh out loud. Because that's another thing, laughing. Like, you can really laugh. You can really belly laugh with your mouth open now, whereas before you just...
Before you'd probably have to think about smiling, but now I don't think I ever see you now without a smile on your face.
I smile with my eyes as well now. Like, I smile with expression. That's what I do, and that's natural, and that's what people normally would do.
Yeah.
But if you ask me to think back to a time when I didn't have an expression when I smiled, we're going to go way back to my early 20s, to when I lost that first tooth.
If you could describe the last 3 years in one word, what would it be?
Soul destroying. I know that's 2 words, but deflated every day. I know that's more than two words, but I'm just trying to comprehend lack of confidence. Quite upsetting, actually, but I'm never going to have to feel like that again. I feel like I'm complete now. Yeah, I feel normal. But I actually...
A completely different person, I'd say.
Yeah, I actually feel amazing. But from what my teeth was like before to what they are now, it's absolutely incredible. It's been life-changing, and I feel amazing, yeah. I feel like I did take my teeth for granted. I think everybody does. Before you can speak, you've got teeth in your mouth, and you expect them to be with you for life. They're just there, aren't they? I think even when I did start back in my early 20s to lose my teeth, I still took them for granted. I spent a lot of time wishing I'd looked after my teeth a lot better than what I had. Although I think my main problem was the pregnancies and the way it drains the body of calcium and it weakens the teeth. But I still wish that I'd have looked after my teeth a lot better. And because of my experience as well, I've always encouraged my own children, you know, they regular dentists, even at young ages, because I knew how quickly and how bad things could get in your early adult life, that I've always pushed them and made sure that they look after their teeth. And luckily, you've all got amazing teeth.
And that's one thing for me as well. I think once I saw your teeth before now, now,
Yeah.
I made the conscious effort of going to the dentist. I had needed a root canal.
Yeah.
I got Invisalign. Like, I made sure, I think from your experience and how I saw it affect you,
Yeah.
that then had an effect on me in terms of like, actually I need to look after my teeth. Yeah,
I think that's one thing that I've pushed on all of you, is to look after your teeth, because as a young adult I knew how I felt and how life in general can affect your teeth.
Do you feel like this treatment is about more than just teeth?
People take their teeth for granted. I didn't have misshaped teeth. I had missing teeth, and obviously they deteriorated over the years. But the teeth that I've got now, compared to the teeth that I was actually born with or given, yeah. I've probably got the best set of teeth in the family, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, you have, yeah. No, I agree, yeah. I can't challenge that, yeah. That is a fact. What would you say to someone who's on the fence or scared about getting dental implants?
Don't be on the fence, don't be scared. Honestly, it's going to change your life. It's changed my life. I've got no regrets. Not that I'll ever have to have them done again, but if I had to, I wouldn't think about it. I'd just do it, because it's not just about having a lovely smile and feeling confident when you smile. It's just been totally life-changing. Like I say, it's changed my mindset, it's changed who I am. Like, I look at myself and think, you've got good teeth.
I think we all do.
And I never used to be that confident person, did I?
No, but now, like, I'll even call you just randomly through the day. Be like, let me see your teeth, mum.
Yeah.
You know, like, because they are incredible.
I'll just send you a selfie of my teeth. Like,
yeah. No, you will. Yeah, there's been them random little situations. Yeah. I'm obsessed with them as well. I think they look incredible. Yeah,
I'm obsessed. From the minute I wake up, I even wake up differently. It's weird. It's just affected my whole persona. Everything's different. Now, as soon as I see a camera, I'm jumping in front of it.
That is the truth. I think
that is the truth. Everybody has said to me so much just recently. I seem to be photobombing everybody's photos, because that wasn't a thing for me, and I didn't realise. Obviously, I was self-conscious when people used to take photos, so obviously I'd just go tight-lipped. I didn't really think or realise how much of a difference it was going to make. But it genuinely did.
Yeah, I was going to say probably
my confidence. I feel like my confidence comes from my teeth more than anything else right now.
Yeah. We won the league last year, didn't we? Where I was playing for Ipswich,
yeah.
And I remember she had to be in the photo because she was there, and I was like, Mum, you're getting in. But the photo now, to this day, I have it on my Instagram, and you're just at the back, like you say, tight-lipped, almost trying to smile, but not show any teeth.
You can't really smile properly without showing your teeth. So I never actually used to smile in photos if I had to be in them, but I would avoid at all costs being in photos. That was just, I'd happily volunteer to be the cameraman, because that was the easiest option and the easiest way out.